glass bowl at the end of a black hole, cold, lost and upside down. Faces swirling past me, all my memories rolling vastly, cold, lost beneath the ground. All done by my own hand, I allow my feelings to become sand. Oh, if you're gonna cut me down, better do it quickly now. You can cut me down, but I won't stay for long. I'll grow back again. Oh yeah, my roots are strong. This is not forever. Folks changing like the weather. Cold, wet, and all around. Toxic people being severed, like leaves falling in September. Cold, wet, and on the ground. You can cut me down, but I won't stay for long. I'll grow back again. Oh yeah, my roots are strong.
Sierra Tango Alpha Romeo Lima Echo Yankee, taxi into runway 09 left.
Yo, what's going on? How you guys doing? You guys ready to get started? Are you down? Are you down? Are you down? Five seconds. And that's a wrap, baby. Alright guys, welcome back. It's your boy Blue Games. Hope you guys are having a great week. Happy Wednesday. Today we're gonna be flying in China. Have not flown in China in quite a while, so we're here in the Airbus A319 here at the gate at Zulu Uniform Lima Sierra. I don't know how to say the name of the airport, so I'm not gonna try, but it's all good. We're gonna be talking about the update today. It is not quite out, but it's kind of out, but it's not really out. But we're gonna talk about that a little bit in a second once we get in the air. But for now, let's go ahead and just get this flight ready to go and get started. How about that? Shout out to you guys, Achilles, man, I don't know how to say your name. Rob Zones, good to see you, man. Oscar, welcome to the stream. Starly, shout out to you, man. Big shouts to Starly for supplying today's flight plan. I like to call him my route manager. Art Cass, what's going on, man? As Yomi, shout out to you watching on Twitch. We are live on YouTube and on Twitch. Noah, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Yasu, good to see you. November 757 Victor Bravo, good to see you too also, my friend. Cash Peterson, welcome to the stream. Captain DK, welcome back, good to see you. Pyro, what's going on, man? Rob Zones, it's Louis the Master, welcome to the stream. Kai Heflin, today's MVP aka VIP, sitting in first class if we had one. AA Games, welcome to the stream. I'm probably good to see you. Alright, let's get started. Smoking signs on, seatbelt signs on, nav lights on. We are gassed up with fuel, passengers on board. That is not a concern at the moment. I've already got them on board ahead of time. Mishi Gun, thank you for that follow on Twitch. Really appreciate that. And welcome to the Blue Arrow Royal fam. Good to see you guys. Thank you guys for supporting the channel as usual. You know, I always appreciate it. Let's go ahead and turn these names off because I just do not like them. I don't remember why I had them on. All right, we'll go ahead and start pushing back. We'll also announce. Actually, we can't. Can we announce pushback? I can't remember. No, we can't. All right, pushing back here. And I'm going to go ahead and do the American thing and start engines during pushback. I know a lot of you guys like to wait until you've pushed back and whatnot. All right, so today for runway, we're going to be taking off runway 09er left right there. Really doesn't matter. Winds are not in favor of either. It doesn't give us any weather at all for the airport at the moment. So we're just going to have to choose what we decide to choose.
Unicom, Sierra,
Turn
Tango,
the beacon lights on. Almost forgot about that. You need to have beacons light. Need to have the beacons on for whenever the engines are on.
East.
We'll push back right here. We're in the Air China A319 today. You could also fly the Air China or China Airlines, whatever it is, A330, but I refuse to fly that thing. Not because I hate the A330, but because I hate Infinite Flight's version of it. It's almost like telling me to fly the current CRJ, and we'll get more into that a little bit later. But yeah, I refuse. I'm not flying that thing. It's hideous. All right, we have one good engine. Start up the other one. We already got somebody taking off over there. 09er. While those engines are spooling up there, we'll go ahead and drop our flaps to, we'll take off with 1 today, and then we'll do trim for like something like that. That works. That'll get us off the ground. For altitude, we'll start off at about 12,000 for our initial climb, just to get us into the safe zone, what I call the Infinite Flight safe zone, because anything below, you are in danger of speeding at 250 knots. Let's go ahead and start rolling. We'll go ahead and announce our taxi to runway 09 left.
Whiskey 12 Quebec, taxiing to
Brakes
runway
are released.
09 left.
And we're rolling.
Unicom, Blue 116, taxiing to runway 09 left.
But yeah, it's been a while. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in a while. I know I've kind of I've gone down to about 2 Infinite Flight streams a week just the past couple weeks since we did our Australian tour. You know, just kind of taking a break. I feel like I really Infinite Flighted out during the Australian tour. Like it was like Infinite Flight every day for me during the Australian tour. So I've been kind of taking a break from doing as much Infinite Flight streams and branching out and do some other things that I enjoy myself, like racing and X-Plane and things like that. So hopefully you guys understand. And if you don't, oh well. It's my channel. I do what I want. But when the update releases, I'll probably be adding some additional Infinite Flight streams to my weekly streams. So don't worry about that. You know, supply and demand, baby. I will hold show right here, 09er. I don't believe anybody's coming here. There is ATC in China, just not in the part of China that we're currently at. So we could see ATC possibly, but we're not expecting it. You know what I mean? I'm not really depending on that. So we're just going to go out there, fly, have a good flight, enjoy the scenery, and we'll be talking about a few different things that I know that a lot of you guys are definitely concerned about. So I'm looking forward to this flight. You can already tell. Look at the freaking mountains around us. You can already tell this is going to be one beautiful flight. And I thought I set the flaps to 1. I didn't mean to. All right, so altitude is good. Let's see, heading's good. It's good. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Without further ado, I have nothing else to wait for. Strobe lights are on, land lights on. Go ahead and announce our takeoff. Runway 09 left, departing to the east. Release parking brakes, start rolling to the runway. We'll line up. And one quick, I'll say thank you guys. I can see the guys back there pushing back right now. Thank you so much for joining in on today's flight. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and hopefully I do too. Which I'm pretty sure we will. We always do. We always have a good time when we get together. So that's I'm not worried about that at all. Thank you, Azayomi, for that subscription. Welcome to the Blue Arrow Royal family. I really appreciate that. Now, we have not flown in China in forever, I don't think. I don't know if we've ever done a strictly China flight before. I know that we've flown into China one time. We flew out of somewhere, but yeah, we haven't really. Payday coming up. Oh yeah, I like how that sounds. But we haven't really done China too much. So I'm excited about exploring China. Thank you for that subscription, Reshop. Appreciate that, man. All right, we're lined up. Let's go ahead and bring the power up here and calibrate our screen because I'm not doing that. All right, cool. There we go. Takeoff thrust. We're lined up here. We'll fly runway heading. Wow, where are we going, sis? Say it right there, probably.
Attention all aircraft. Server restart is going to be initiated in 1 minute. Please stand by.
Wow, look how high we are, guys. Did you guys notice we took off at like 10,000 feet? Wow, we are already at 12,000 feet MSL. That is nuts. No wonder the speed was so low. I didn't realize that the airport elevation was so high. Came out here. Wow, that's pretty amazing. So yeah, we're already above 12,000 feet. If you look at here, right, if I go to AGL, hold on. If we go to altitude AGL, it shows we are at 1,700 feet right now. But at MSL, we are 13,000 feet already. So that's pretty crazy. Very high altitude airport right there. We'll go ahead and release flaps. Still flying her by hand. So technically, since according to Infinite Flight's rules, since we're already above 10,000 feet, we can go as fast as we want. Because from what I understand, now some other people have said differently, but from what I understand, Infinite Flight, we'll go ahead and set nav mode here. Get the view here. From what I understand, Infinite Flight goes, whoa, what's going on? Oh, oh yeah, I see. Come on. Oh crap. Pull up. Pull up. I see what happened there. Yeah, so I can't do 12,000 because we took off from 12,000 feet, so that makes no sense. My bad, people. All right, let's try that again. All right, nav mode, altitude, speed. There we go. All right, so what I was saying was, according to Infinite Flight, like if you take off at an airport like this, it's already at 10,000 feet above sea level. As soon as you get off the ground, you technically can go as fast as you want. In real life, that would not be the same. Beautiful departure though out of this airport, man. Where has this airport been all my life? Yeah, we almost died right there because I made a mistake. I had set our altitude to 12,000. I did not check the airport elevation. Didn't know we were already quite at, or sorry, 12,000. I was going to climb about 4,000 feet per minute. That works for me. And like I said, we'll just go ahead and just 10 knots. I'm out of here, and we'll be at our cruise altitude. We'll be at our cruise altitude in no time. I feel like I keep stuttering over my words. I can't talk today. So you seen the cam for this, man. Look at that. What is this place? Yes, sir. Once we get up to cruise, we'll be discussing the update. Kind of get what some of you guys is most of you guys already know what's going on, but for you guys who don't know, wow, look at that. We'll kind of discuss it and get everybody on the same page here, and just kind of find out what everybody's thoughts is about it. And I'll let you know what I'm thinking about it too.
Server restart is now complete. Update should be out later today. Thank you for being Infinite Flight Pro subscribers. Cheers from sunny New York and have a good flight. Laura, out.
That's why I trust you, Starly. That's why I trust you, bro. Alright, we're still climbing. We're passing 2,300 now. 3,000. Beautiful scenery out here. Man, look at this. This is like, this right here is the part. No flight sim out there can really compete with this part of Infinite Flight, the scenery part. Like, I know that there's so much, like, and even with desktop, you know, flight simulators, there's even, you know, there's so much DLC. I keep saying DLC. There's so much add-ons and, you know, content you can buy and download to make your scenery look better. But when it comes to scenery as a whole, like Infinite Flight, there's nobody who has as much like quality scenery as Infinite Flight. Like not X-Plane, not P3D, not FSX, you know. And I'm trying to build scenery for my X-Plane, but I'm building it by tiles and by small sections. And for me to get areas like this, well, first of all, I'd have to know about it. Two, I'd have to have a ton of space on my hard drive or external hard drive, which I'm already running out of. So I've created HD scenery for basically all of California, in Southern California, all the way up to about Seattle. But that's about it. I have my hometown down in Southern Texas. I got like most of the state of Florida. I got New York, and I have like Austria. And I'm working on the UK and like Amsterdam and stuff like that, but it's just like it takes so much space to create that much scenery. And you get on Infinite Flight and you just get on here and boom, it's just that easy. You just get this beautiful scenery just instantly. Like, what is this? Come on. All right, passing 30,000, flight level 300. We're headed up to, wait, where are we going? I think we're going to 39,000 today, if I am correct. Yeah, no, actually, we're going to 35. We could go to 39. 39 wouldn't be a problem, but we're gonna stop at 35 for now. If we decide to go higher, that's all good. But right now, we filed 35,000 feet. We're second, right behind Starling. Little turbulence here. We'll go to the wing view to take a look at that. Bumpy out here. I flew into San Francisco a couple days ago. Was that a couple days ago? Yeah, a couple days ago in a general aviation plane, and it was horrible turbulence. Oh my gosh, like you can't believe it, how bad it was. I mean, it was fun to fly through because you know that's what we do on flight sim. We have to go through tough situations like that. But it was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. What's going on, Nicholas? How you doing, man? Jen Storms, good to see you, man. See you. Alright, real quick, as we climb, we're just about to hit our cruise. I'm going to do our motivational quote of the day. Turn our landing lights off. Leave the seatbelt signs on because it is very bumpy out there, as you can see out the window. Our left wing view. And yeah, real quick, let's get this motivational quote of the day is, where is it? We overestimate what we can do with the opportunities we don't have, and we underestimate the opportunities we do have, we already have. So I'm going to say it again, so let this sink in. We overestimate what we can do with the opportunities that we don't have, and we underestimate the opportunities, the things that we already have. Another thing is maybe the limit is not what God didn't give you, but what you're not using already. So what that comes down to, basically, real quick, as we get to our cruise altitude, is that a lot of times we always long for things that other people have. We always like, oh man, he has this great computer. I want that computer. I could do so many things if I had that guy's computer, or if I had that car, I could do this, or if I had that pilot license, I could do that, or whatever it is. You know, you can kind of relate that to anything, any aspect in life. You know what I'm saying? So we always want more, which is good. That's what it is to be human. To always want to progress, to always want to be better, to always want more in life, more things, more all that. We always want more. We're never gonna be satisfied with where we are. But at the same time, we can't underestimate the opportunities that we already have. Like, what opportunities do you already have in front of you? What can you do with what you already have in your possession? You know what I mean? If you want to start doing something big, you don't just start with the big, you start with the little, and you make the little work until that little turns into something big. You get what I'm saying? So if you want to be a musician and you're like, well, I want to do like world tours and I want to be famous, but all I have is this old guitar, you know, it's out of tune, you know what I mean, all that type of stuff. Well, hey, you can still work with that old guitar. You can still master that old guitar. You can still find a way to get that old guitar tuned, write some songs, write some music, start doing shows, start promoting yourself, and then you can afford to get a new guitar, and then you just keep progressing. You start working on music, working on an album, whatever that may be. You know what I mean? So you got to start with what you already have. Like, you've already been given this old guitar. Why are you tripping because you have an old guitar? You have a guitar. You know how many people out there wish they had a guitar because they want to do music? Well, no. And it's just an example. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who wish they had what you have right now. You know, so don't always just like try to wish and hope for things that you don't have and think, oh, I can't do anything because I don't have that. Well, God has given you something already. He's already given you the gift, the dream, the abilities to do everything that you need to do. You just need to take advantage of what you already have. We always underestimate those things and take it for granted. Like, oh man, I'm living in this house, I can't do anything. Well, you could, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying. So one more time, we overestimate what we can do with the opportunities we don't have, and we underestimate the opportunities we already have. So all right, let's get into this Infinite Flight update. So that's kind of the story of the last 24 hours. And the best way for me to explain this is this right here. We're in cruise. Well, wow, why you gotta do it like that, man? Like, freaking make everybody sick, why don't you? Freaking autopilot just swinging it. Like, man, that is crazy. Anyway, so what I was gonna say was the best way for me to show you guys what's going on in the update for you guys who have not been updated already, because I know most of you guys are very active in the community, so you already know what's going on. But this is really for people who are not as active in the community and may not know all that stuff. So I'm gonna actually go right here. So we got quite a while. We have an hour, 14 minutes till we get to our destination. So real quick, we're gonna talk about this. Infinite Flight 18.1 is coming, aka the what we used to call the CRJ update. So they said they're about to release it. This happened 15 hours ago. They posted this on the Infinite Flight forum. That's community.infinite-flight.com. You can go check it out yourself. I think Starlight just posted it in the comments also. So obviously we see this dope picture of an Airbus Alaska livery, whatnot. So it's saying this is the change list. So we get new liveries for the A321, the 737-800, 747-800. You're also going to get new ATC messaging interface, which you guys, if you look it up on YouTube, you can already find like 3 new tutorials by Infinite Flight for ATC and for people to understand what ATIS and stuff like that is. So you get more ATC voices are now configurable. So I'm very interested to see how that works, because as you know, I had made a tutorial earlier about how to change the ATC voice on server is restarting apparently. Hold on. Okay, well, anyways, so you guys know on Infinite Flight I got a message saying the server is restarting, so that may be something to do with the update. But anyway, I'm gonna continue. So ATC voices are configurable. So like I said, I did a video a while back showing iOS users and iPhone users how to change the voice of their Infinite Flight ATC. Also, ATIS is now available, which is super dope. A lot of people were excited about that, and so am I. I'm more excited about that for controllers being able to choose runways, because a lot of times, well, I'll say this is more of an issue on training server than on expert server, but this is really only coming to expert server for now, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but a lot of times you'll have a tower controller who's like, okay, I'm going to use runway 1 left and 1 right, but then the ground person is sending people to runway 28 left. You know what I mean? So you have this miscommunication because these people don't even know each other. So it's good for ATC to be able to decide what runway they would like to use and do operations on. Anyway, so they added support for visual approach requests for ATC. That's great. Flight info is now available when selecting planes in map view for expert server only for now, which is pretty cool. I'm really interested to see what that actually means. I don't really know what that means, but I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like. Online flight logbook with ghosting violation information. That's they're just kind of updating the logbook and giving it a little bit more information, which I think is really good. I always felt like the logbook didn't really have enough info for all of us. So also after that, we have the aviation and airport DAV data. DAV data can now be updated without app updates. That's something that I am happy about, because you know, in the past I've tried creating flight plans with charts, and a lot of times the waypoints are not there. So it's good that they're able to update those waypoints more frequently without waiting every freaking season to update the nav data. Also, a bunch of various bug fixes and performance improvements as usual. So what they're saying, though, this is kind of the key thing right here. If you may notice, the CRJ is not mentioned in that list. So the CRJ is not coming in this next update, which is definitely heartbreaking for a lot of us. So I'm going to go ahead and just quote what she says. She says, "There's a very good reason for that. We once again significantly increased the complexity and quality of our aircraft to the point that it negatively affected performance, especially in multiplayer mode. We've decided to delay the release of the CRJ to have more time to experiment with a new aircraft and terrain rendering system." Now that right there is something that I am very curious and excited about. So yes, the CRJ is not coming out with this update. That sucks. A lot of people are gonna be pissed off about that. I'm not gonna say I'm pissed. I'm just like, disappointed, I guess you could say. But this right here is cool. I like it when developers are always progressing and trying to make their system better. So what we see as of Infinite Flight right now is great. Like, it looks great. You know, it's amazing. They're already using like a new engine or something just to create what we're already using, but they're still progressing. So this leaves open. I'm not saying, I'm kind of reading between the lines right here, but it says new aircraft and terrain rendering system. So a lot of people always ask for things like, clickable cockpits. Well, with the way that the planes are made right now, it does not seem that that would be even possible, because the cockpits are just pictures, pictures basically, on a 3D model. So I'm really curious of, like, you know, I think that they're probably trying to input all that type of the skeletal system so that they can do things like that in the future. And then also she goes on to say, we've been working on this work should help us reach new heights in terms of quality while ensuring best possible experience, especially with many aircraft on screen, and even allow more that currently allow more that currently possible. So anyways, they want to make the system better so they can give more possibility. We have wing flex, that's great. We have, you know, all the lights on the aircraft, that's great. I mean, there's a lot of things that it can add to the aircraft that they don't have yet. Like, one of the main things is clickable cockpits, you know, smoke on landing, different engine sounds maybe that could be, I don't know. I'm just kind of like throwing ideas out there right now. Let's see. Also, the next, he says, we understand that this may disappoint some pilots out there, like I just said, but they should find some comfort in the fact that this work should allow us to render more airplanes with better quality at once. Which makes me think that maybe, and which I think they should go back and update a lot of the current aircraft that they already have. Like the A330 that I already said that I refuse to fly because it's so ugly. I think that this system that they're creating will allow them to re-release the A330 a whole lot nicer, you know, and bring out some new aircraft. Also, it says along with many new features that will be enabled. So I'm really curious about what does that mean. What is that? Along with many other new features. Are we talking about clickable cockpits here? I'm just throwing stuff out there. I'm just reading between the lines. We're talking about clickable cockpits because that's what a lot of people want. You know, I don't know. New features, opening doors. I mean, we've seen that on the MD-11. We've seen that on teasers of the CRJ with the doors opening. Are the aircraft all gonna have like actual cabins now, where you can actually see the seats inside of the aircraft? You know, I don't know. You know, there's so many possibilities that they could do. It says we will keep you updated on the progress once we can share more about this development. Bear in mind the fact that our 3D modeling team is already hard at work on the next couple aircraft, so once we solve this performance hurdle, we'll be able to ship those in shorter amount of time. My curiosity also is piqued right there. What are these other aircraft they're working on? Tell me, what is it? We know CRJ is one of them. We've heard rants that they will not come out with a new airliner, but people change their mind. Maybe they will come out with a new airliner, or maybe they're just working on making the old ones better. So anyways, go down to liveries. This is what a lot of you guys are excited about. I can't say that I am. All liveries that I fly are already on the game, but hey, you can never have too many liveries. So A320, Alaska Airlines, the 2018 version, a brand new A320. A321 by Delta, Frontier, JetBlue, and Spirit. Those are two new liveries for the A321. 737-800 now has Aer Lingus Argentina's Gol, which the 2018 version of the Gol livery, and Qantas and SAS. Lufthansa has updated 747-800 to Seattle Seahawks. Oh wait, Seattle Seahawks and the Lufthansa. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that they had a Seattle Seahawks 747. Well, that's cool. Down here, I'm not going to go through all of this because you guys can go and read this yourself. There's a lot of information about what's coming with the next update. But the rest of this kind of goes in talking about ATIS frequencies that's coming with the next update. Actually, what's coming with this current update is ATIS, ATC voices, visual approaches, flight info, online logbook, aviation data updates, new ATC interface, and a bunch of stuff like that. So that's all great. I'm not going to go through and read that. They already have videos online explaining the how to do ATIS, explaining all those types of things. So I'm not going to go through that. And the link is for you to look at in the chat. So let's go back to the flight. It's still bumpy as heck out here. But what I want to know is what you guys think about all that. How do you guys feel about there not being a CRJ coming with the update? Have any of you guys got the update yet? Because according to Laura also, that the update should be starting to roll out. I think she said yesterday. No, yesterday she said that the updates will start rolling out like the next few days. So we should start getting them slowly, kind of like we did before. I don't know what day. I don't know if any of you guys have actually gotten it already. I don't have it yet. I don't have the new update yet. I'm still on whatever the other one is. So Young Pete says he's sad. I'm good, Pete. Good to see you, man. Young Pete says he just got Infinite Flight today, so now the road to Expo server begins tonight. White Dragon, what's going on, man? Yeah, I think yeah, rain and stuff like that would be cool. Real water. They used to have real water, but they got rid of it with this update, and they replaced it with just texture. I've never actually crashed in the water, so I don't know what happens when you crash in the water now. Do you just hit the ground and die, or what happens? Beautiful scenery though out here in southern China. Taxi lights, terminals will be good start. Yeah, I agree. I think if they're gonna add anything to the ground, they're definitely. What's going on? Quadruple 064. Good to see you, bro. I just saw your chat. I wasn't looking at the chat when I was reading all that stuff, so good to see you, man. Thanks for watching on Twitch, bro. And yes, sir, Infinite Flight is a mobile sim for you guys who don't know. Infinite Flight is not on PC. So it sounds like, according to what she said about the CRJs, that they made the CRJ so advanced that the app can't even handle it yet. Like like you can't handle it, like it's too much. That's what it sounds like. So I'm really curious of what they did with that thing to make it so advanced. I mean, because the MD-11, it has to be. There must be something about the CRJ that makes it more advanced than MD-11. For you guys who know about the MD-11 DC-10s, those come with a lot of cool, things. They have tons of camera views. It's modeled from the inside out. You can see views from any angle of that plane. It has a lot of interior, a beautiful interior with what do you call it? Pilots in the flight deck. I mean, there's a lot of great things about the MD-11. But if the CRJ, which is a whole lot smaller of an aircraft, if they can't handle it, like, there's something special about that plane. I'm really curious of what it is. Like, I'm wondering if it's this right here. I'm wondering if they finally brought these to life. Like, if you can actually see these screens now. Like as of right now, they're just pictures. Hold on, let me get rid of all this. Right now, all these instruments inside the aircraft are just pictures. You can't click them. They don't move. But I'm wondering if they brought like the flight deck to life. Right now, the only thing that moves is the throttle, the trim, and the I think the gear lever moves, and then yeah, I think that's about it. And I think the spoilers too, they move. But I'm wondering if they brought some type of, like, maybe you can't actually control yet, maybe you can't click on anything yet, but what if, like, they brought them to life where you could at least just see like, altitude information, speed information, maybe you can see your flight plan on here. Like, that would be really cool. That'd be pretty legit to see that in the flight deck. Like I said, right now there's nothing. It's just Pictures. Pictures in a Pepsi can. So I'm curious of what it is that sets it apart. LeBron says it's so makes it sound so mysterious the way I said it. What's going on, Les? Good to see you, man. Welcome to the stream. Thank you, Mr. Memes. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate the love, bro. Yeah, I think as of right now, if you try to land, I don't know actually. If you try to land in the water, what happens? Okay, so Infinite Flight Central is saying that Deer Crusher is saying that there's some liveries that were not included in that post. So, but those liveries, are they for the CRJ or for the other things? I think a 777 rework would be good, Ben. But I think that there's some other planes that need rework more than the 777. So I think if they're going to rework aircraft, they should start with the worst and work their way up. So CRJ is pretty much the worst one. Ben, yeah, I think reworks in the future. I think a smart move would be for reworks. I mean, I know everybody wants the A350. Everybody keeps begging for it, and A350 is a great plane. If they come out the A350, that's great. That's amazing. A350 has never been on my radar personally as an American. The A350. I know you people everywhere else love that plane. As an American, A350 has never been on my radar. We have a 787. I'm happy with that. I'm good. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not against a new A350. That's probably the only new aircraft they could come out with as an airliner. But they also think about this. There is no really good general aviation planes either. So I mean, they could have some good general aviation planes. Now they have all this amazing scenery to look at. You know, add some or either. Nah, I don't think they should rework the general aviation planes that they have. I think they should bring in some new ones if they were to do that. Like some more, maybe some twin turboprops, stuff like that. Logis, this is for PC, man. I'm sorry, it's not PC. This is a mobile game we're on right now. This is a mobile sim, mobile flight simulator. Looks great though, doesn't it? And a lot of people are also asking for the 737 MAX, which again, it's so close to what the 737-800 is. There's really no point. but it is what it is. Like I said, I mean, this is what the people want. This is what everybody wants. And I know they're listening. I know they know people want the 737 MAX. They know people want the A350, and they're doing what they can. But I just still think that when it comes to the game itself, I think it'd be smart to rework the things that they already have, make everything higher quality. Like they already have quantity. They already have tons of planes. They have so many options for you to fly anywhere you want to fly to. But a lot of those planes, you know, just don't look good. Like, I mean, the 757, I always mention that. The 757, 767, horrible, ugly planes. In real life, they're beautiful. A350, A330, sorry, not A350, A330, another beautiful plane in real life. Ugly on infinite flight, you know. So, Logis, there is no PC version. This is only on mobile. You can get this on Android and on iPhone, on iOS. And the cockpit is modeled, but nothing is clickable. So. But it looks good. At least the Airbus. The Airbus is the A3, like the little Airbus family, like the A319, 20, all that stuff. They look good on the cockpit. But when you get up to A330, yeah, kind of downgrades from there. The Boeing aircraft need to upgrade to their cockpits also. Yeah, Lebrats. I think the 757 is beautiful in real life. I mean, I'm not gonna say beautiful. It's just not as bad looking in real life. Honestly, the 757 actually is a pretty ugly plane in real life, with those long landing gear and that narrow body. Patrick Cowley, what if they made a way to speak to other pilots directly? That would be cool. I wish they would. That would be really cool, actually, if they had an actual Unicom. That would be very nice. Like a way to talk to people through Unicom. That'd be nice. Yeah, it'd be very nice. And also, with that, a way to turn it off. Because I know that people are going to be doing stupid stuff on there. On training servers and spamming, all that type of stuff. So some kind of way to manage the spammers and trolls, but yet still be able to have a Unicom. Which is crazy. is with X-Plane FSX P3D. With if you're flying on VATSIM, they have a Unicom frequency that you can type, and you can call, like, you know, I'm on my right base, on my left base, I'm inbound 10 miles, whatever you want to say, and you don't really see all that much spamming on there. I mean, every once in a while you'll see some stupid little kids on there doing some stuff, but for the most part it stays very clean. But they also have moderators watching over that too, to make sure that people are not abusing the system. So I think it'd be great. I think it'd be really good, because there's a lot of times when I'm flying, and you're not flying on a stream, you're not flying on a group flight, and you want to say, hey, where are you headed? Or you want to talk to that person, be like, hey, what runway are you taking? You know what I mean? Like, what you want to be able to communicate with other people. Yes, sir, man. The graphics are amazing. But yeah, so guys, definitely keep a look in your app store. I don't know, you know, in Google Play Store for update. It'll be here basically anytime. Anytime today, tomorrow, the next day. So be expecting those new liveries, expecting the ATC and whatnot. I'm really curious to see how that goes. I want to see how that goes on the ATC side of things. I think that'd be pretty cool. Earlier, you guys were talking about some suggestions on things to add to the game. You guys were talking about like ground handling, which is a really good idea, actually. But I think that if they're gonna do anything on the ground, they have to add 3D buildings first. So earlier in the post that you saw, they talked about a new system so that they could have more scenery and whatnot. So I'm wondering if they're talking about like adding things like 3D buildings, or if they're talking about things like just adding more HD scenery in more areas like South America, you know, Southern Africa. Starly's refreshing. I remember when the MD-11 update, man, we were shaking like crazy right now. It is not calm winds out above these mountains. Before the MD-11, what's they call the winter update came out. I was refreshing like every second. Oh shoot, I think the most anticipation was before the global update. I mean, when they said that they had sent that out, like, I was refreshing. Like, I literally woke up in the middle of the night, like every like 30 minutes or so, just to look at my app store and refresh to see if that update had came out. We were so ready, so ready. Kai Heflin, if you are interested in being a member of IFATC, like you want to be able to do expert server ATC, you need to go on the forums and search the IFATC forums and ask for them to like consider you. I don't know how to say it, but you know, like ask them to allow you to check you out or whatever. I don't know what the word is, but there's a process. You got to have a certain amount of operations through ATC already before you even apply for IFATC. Andre Olsen, no sir, the update is not out. I don't know if I said that clearly yet, but the update is not technically out, but it is rolling out. So they it sounds like they have sent it to stores to be updated. So I assume this time Android is probably gonna get it first again. But you know, just keep looking at your app stores and you'll get it pretty soon. I don't have it yet, so just so you guys know, I'm not running the new update yet, but we're just kind of talking about it in today's flight. Jaden Dyer, do a group flight one day. These are group flights. These are group flights. I always do group flights. So I don't know what you mean by do a group flight. We're on expert server today, as usual. We're always on expert server. ETE is about 53 minutes. We are 452 nautical miles out from our destination. Fuel remaining 3 hours and 46 minutes, 38%, 16,000 pounds. And we're at 350. That's our altitude. We're cruising at about ground speed of 503. And it's been very bumpy, so I've been keeping the seatbelt signs on the entire flight. Yep, that's what they say apparently, Starly. Since the app was created, Android always got updates first, except global. And I feel like in the global update, I think we were used as I guess you could call it like guinea pigs, like the test, like the last final test, because it didn't even work right when it came out, when global came out at first. Jaden Dyer, yeah, I like the 747-200. Andre Elson can't wait for the CRJ. Yeah, yeah. Forward to it too. Looking forward to the CRJ. So I'm wondering though. So what does this mean? You know, we're getting the new update now, right? That's great and all. We're gonna get a bunch of liveries, a bunch of new functionality. That's cool. Some upgrades and whatnot. But when can we expect the CRJ? You know, like, are they kind of like stuck? Did they hit a wall? So obviously something did not go right in testing for the CRJ not to come out. Because I mean, looking at all the screenshots and Instagram posts and Twitter posts and all that stuff of the CRJ, like, it looked pretty darn done. But I know that, I mean, we can't see the bugs. They're showing us just photos and whatnot. But I'm just wondering, like, so how much longer should we expect to wait? Are we gonna need to wait until the summer update? You know, because this is like, this came out right at the beginning of spring. Last update we got was in the winter, and I think before that may have been fall. Actually, I think the one before that was global. I think that came out in the fall. So, you know, as of right now, the trend, as I mentioned before this update was announced, was it seems like they're coming out with seasonal updates. You know, each season they come out with a new update. So I'm very curious of when the next one's gonna come out. Like, maybe now their next goal is to come out with it next season. Like, do we have to wait till summer to see the CRJ? And maybe are they gonna release something else with the CRJ, since they're talking about all these multiple types of aircraft they're working on? Are they gonna release the CRJ alone still, with some other bug fixes, or are they gonna release the CRJ with maybe another airplane? So I'm just wondering, like, how much longer we gotta wait? You know, how much longer is it gonna be? People, we've been teased like crazy. You know, like, it'd be different if they hadn't really said much about the CRJ. They're like, oh yeah, we got a CRJ coming out, just so you know. But like, almost every day somebody's talking about CRJ. Almost every day they're posting a photo of a CRJ new livery, you know, stuff like that. So we've been like teased out of our mind, and then we find out, you know, the hype. We got so hyped. We got all the hype build up, and then we get told it's not coming out. I'm like, oh, you know. So I think of all the updates coming out with this, all the updates that were announced that were supposed to come out with this new update, I think my favorite was the actual CRJ aircraft, and right behind that was the ADAS functionality, and then behind that was the visual approach. So those are my top things that I was kind of excited about as far as the update coming out. Was first the CRJ, 2 the ADAS, 3 visual approaches. I'm happy about the new liveries and stuff. That's great. That's cool. I always love having new liveries and stuff like that. But it's just, I don't know. I'm not like crazy excited. I'm glad. Like, I would rather have them than not have them. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying they shouldn't have did it. I'm just saying personally, my own opinion. Like, none of those liveries were something that I've been waiting for. So and apparently just now Starley just got the update. I know he's on Android too. So good luck. Good for him. He's probably. Did you leave the flight? I bet you left the flight. Yeah, he did. No, he's still here actually. Wait, how do you know you got the update if you're in the air? Wouldn't you have to leave flight in order to take a look? I don't know how you're doing that, but apparently Starley says he just got the update, and he is on Android. So if you're on Android, things are looking up for you. Well, you're for real though, right? You're not like kidding. Trying to see if he's. Ah, it was a freaking joke. You suck, Starley. You suck. Suck. Alright, well, that's a lie. I apologize. Next time I'm just not gonna say things that happen in the chat. Because I don't wanna mislead anybody else. Like, everybody probably instantly left their app to check the app store to see if they had got the update. So Starley did not get the update. He was lying. You're a big fat phony. Anyways, I pay no more attention to Starley. No, this is not the Air India livery. This is the Air China livery. Or the Airbus A319. Alright, so we're less than an hour ETE. So let's go ahead and do our shout out for today's flight. Let's see. We had a few people flying with us today. Not a big group, but quality over quantity, baby. So first up, we got Starley, that buster who lied about having the update. Next up, you got me. And third, we got Blue 117 Saju, an A319er. And after him, we got the Emirates 007 Super Nepali Babu. And after that, we got Lot 3 Patrick Cowley in the 787-800. I wonder what livery he's flying. I'm not really sure. And after that, we got Air China 832 Delta Lima Victor Alpha 339 Jacob. Thank you, Whitney Kusa, for that subscription. Welcome to the Blue Airway family. That's all we got flying with us today. Headed over to, what the heck is the name of this place? Let's see if we can take a look. So, for you guys who just joined us, this is our route. We took off from Zulu, Uniform, Lima, Sierra, and we're headed to Zulu, Uniform, Uniform, Uniform. And apparently there is ATC there. Cool. Oh, snap. Guess who it is? Lebrat is ATC for us. Dex. It's called Liu. I don't know how to say it, but airport. Oh, wow. Well, it's not that bad. So, the elevation only 1,625. Elevation of where we took off from, though. Check this out. 11,000 feet. That is nuts. That is crazy high. What the heck? Who lives that high? Yeah, wow. We took off, and I set my altitude for 12,000 feet, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is what I always do, right? I always set my altitude for 12,000 feet so I don't get, you know, speed and all that stuff, get violations. Nobody wants those. And then I take off, and as soon as I get off the ground, we're already at 12,000 feet. I don't realize it because I'm like, oh, yeah, we're just taking off. It's a normal day. Just another flight. And then I get to like 15,000. I hit altitude mode, and then it like dips the airplane back down to 12,000 because I didn't realize we were already at 15,000 feet. So you gotta be careful with that when you take off from high altitudes, right? Thank you, Lebras. He says it's pronounced Shu Wang Lu. All right, well, wonder if they have good food. Chris says he had to stir the pot. Yeah, I mean, if I could have like shot Starly down just now, I definitely would have. I would have sent the freaking heat seeker missile to the back of his plane right now. Like, what the heck you mean? You were joking. I was looking for the kick button, but there is not. I don't have one, sadly. What's up, the man 10? Good to see you, man. No chill, no sir. No sir. Alright, so today we are expected to land at runway 02 left and 02 right. Depending on how busy it is. We're not that busy today, so I think we could all fit on one runway. I don't really have a preference either. Let's see, the weather there is 220 at 1. Visibility is low at 3 statute miles. So yeah, that's the issue, but I don't really know which runway I want. I'll just kind of wait. I think we only have tower online, so we kind of have to choose our own runway. Huh. So other than that, guys, I mean, how's it going? It's true. It's very true. A lot of you guys could do a lot of pranks when the updates are like so close and everybody's like on the edge of their seat waiting for the updates. On the edge of the seat. Wow, is that a crosswind? Let's take a look at that. I'm gonna go to, if I go to free camera, watch this. Just a slight crosswind. It's not as much as I thought. 28 knot crosswind. Flight time right now is 43, and we have 45 minutes left. 167 nautical miles out. That's good, Aviation Worldwide. Avian Johnson, yeah, I think I just said how long the flight was. That's one thing they need to fix right there, is how fast the plane rotates whenever you turn. Or it would be cool if they had a button you could press. Some planes in real life have a button called half bank, And what that button does is it only does like half of the bank that it would usually do for autopilot. So that way you get a smoother ride. And then some planes also have a button called soft ride. And that's I think mainly probably like general aviation planes. I've been flying a lot of GA planes on X-Plane lately. And a couple of the planes that I fly, one has a half bank button and the other has a soft ride button. What's going on, Lucas? Thank you for that follow. Welcome to the Blue Arrow Royal family on Twitch. Appreciate that. Jaden Dyer says I will make a good pilot. I hope so. I think somebody asked what my favorite airport was. That's what you're asking. Yeah, my favorite airport is Juneau, Alaska. Papa Alpha Juliet November. It's pretty much my favorite airport anywhere. It's my favorite airport on Infinite Flight, and my favorite airport on X-Plane. I have some really nice scenery out there. I'm actually looking at doing a flight out there on X-Plane. There's a lot of good airports though. Like, man, I think some of my favorite airports though are some of the smaller ones, like some of the smaller, less known airports. Because I mean, everybody loves airports like JFK, you know, the big busy ones. You know, Atlanta, freaking Heathrow. You know what I mean? I mean, London City's actually a really good small airport too. But I love Juneau, Alaska. I also just discovered a guy who flies X-Plane. He recommended this airport to me. And I looked it up and I was like, oh, I've never heard of this airport. And the ICAO code is Papa Alpha Delta Uniform Purdue, and it's actually called Unalaska. And I flew there last weekend doing some GA stuff out there. It was supposed to be a clear day. If you guys saw my Instagram, I posted me landing a Cessna 208 Caravan on X-Plane 11 in heavy snow, no visibility. Don't know how I got on the ground safely, but it was crazy because that's where I was. I was in Unalaska. Whenever you fly in Alaska, the weather is pretty horrible, but when you get a good day, the scenery is amazing. But yeah, I love flying in and around Alaska. But I found that airport and I was like, man, this airport is actually really cool. It's like just to the west of Anchorage, Alaska. Not just to it, but like a little island to the edge of Alaska over there. It's pretty cool. Hello from Japan. What's going on? November 757. Victor, Bravo, KLGB. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Will I ever do a flight to Jamaica again, Kadeem? Yes, I will. I almost did one for the Caribbean tour. Not Caribbean. I almost did one for our last Caribbean stream we did last week. But we ended up going to the Dominican Republic instead. Actually, we ended up going to Cuba instead. Jaden Dyer, we'll see, man. We'll see. Can't make any promises. We've done a few 747 group flights. We did one for Olympics. We did one. We did one like not. We did like I think it's like 1 week or 2 weeks. Where we did like a lot of 747 flying. Yes, sir, Kai Heflin. I do have a yoke for X-Plane 11, and I now prefer it. I used to not have a yoke. I had to use my console controller, but I finally got a yoke and I love it. I don't use it for Infinite Flight yet though. I need to give it another try. I tried using the same yoke for Infinite Flight and I was having issues with it, but maybe after this update comes out I may give it another try. Yes sir, Walking Fruit, there is ground and tower, and that's our good friend Lebrats. But so far, this has been a very good route. Definitely recommend it to anybody out there who wants to see this scenery for themselves. I didn't mention this earlier, but we have the link for the live flight. It's in the description. It's been there since the start of the flight. So if you guys would like to track today's flight, or maybe would like to find yourself, you can go to the description. It'll only be there for the actual stream. Once I put the video up, that link will no longer be there, no longer be valid, but I have that link down there for you guys to check out if you are interested. You know, actually, one thing I have not done yet is fly with a tanker. I need to do that now that I think about it. I've done what, 2, maybe 3 I think it's just 2. I think we did 2 videos already on in-flight refueling. One of them, the purpose was not to refuel, but it just kind of we needed to because we're doing a fighter jet mission. But I've actually not flown the tanker myself, so I may have to give that a try one day. Oh, nice. Gaming Birds, you're getting Infinite Flight Global soon. That's great, man. Congrats to you. We only have about 38 minutes to our destination, but I would round up to about 40-45 minutes. We'll probably still be here on the stream with descending and all that kind of stuff. King of overspeed, that's funny. Well, yeah, I mean, I assume flying with a tanker could be pretty tough with it being heavy. You gotta make sure you take off from a big enough airport and land at a decent speed. I need to give it a try, though. I really haven't tried it yet. I think it'd be fun to fly the tanker. You guys could probably refuel. I could refuel you guys. But you're gonna have to pay. My fuel ain't free. So much scenery to look at out here, man. I love flights like this. You guys know I'm a sucker for mountains. I love flying over the mountains, and I love flying over like Caribbean type places. Nicholas, what time do I think the update would be out? I don't think there's really a time. It's just kind of whenever Apple releases it to everybody on Apple, whenever Android releases it to everybody on Android. AK, I mean, this is definitely not one of my favorite liveries. Not at all. Not at all. But it looks a whole lot better than the A330, so can't complain about that. Yeah, I don't know. Air China definitely needs to update this. This looks mad old school. I don't know if Air China still flies this specific livery. I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to Air China Airlines. I don't know anything about them. This is my first time ever flying Air China. But I wanted to use Air China because they fly this route, so. Sternberg, what part of the world do you want to fly in? Jaden, my favorite plane, 787, as an airliner. Favorite airliner is a 787. Favorite GA aircraft is a King Air. Or favorite GA prop is a King Air 200. Favorite business jet would be a Challenger. There's actually a Challenger 400 now, so I like the Challenger 400. And then my favorite fighter jet is the I want to say F-35, but I want to say F-18. So I don't know. Europe or North America? You're gonna have to be a little bit more specific about that, because there's so many good hour-and-a-half flights in both, especially Europe. You can get so far in Europe, an hour and a half. North America, I would say if you want to do a flight that's an hour and a half, probably fly on the west coast of North America, or you could fly like around the Caribbean, like Florida, maybe like Florida to Havana, to Jamaica. I think it's about an hour and a half or so. I'm not sure. We have company now. Is there somebody intercepting us in a fighter? Yep, I see a fighter. Whoa, 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 whoa. What is going on here? Mayday. What happened to you? Whoa, and gone. He just disappeared off the map. Pretty sure that's not what I was looking for, but that. Glad I looked up. All right, so what do we actually, what do we actually have inbound? So we have a jet off our left wing. Lucas B. Where is he? There he is. What is that? An F-16? Yeah. Then we have an enemy fighter. Dead ahead. F-16 engaged. Weapons free. Weapons free on fire, dog. Chris Levet and F-22. I don't know, man. He might beat you though. You might not want to engage. You got an F-22 versus an F-16. I don't think that's gonna be a good. I don't think that's gonna be a good challenge right there. I do not think that's a good idea. We have to scramble. We have to scramble the Air Force for backup. You know what I want to do though? I want to do. I'll probably wait until the update comes out, but I want to do some pattern work. We haven't done that in a while. I want to practice on some pattern work. I want to do some. Probably jump in some GA, small aircraft, something like that. Do some pattern work somewhere very scenic. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Hazard Gasm, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Lebrats, since you are on the chat, what runway would you recommend we take today? Mr. Tower Controller. Or listening. Yeah, I don't know where that. I think is that the same F-22. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the F-22 that went spiraling down to the mountains to its death. We may need to call a chopper or evac or something. Rescue mission. The medevac, I should say. Alright, Lebrats is saying 02 right if possible. Roger, roger, sir. Right it is. Alright, so we will expect 02 right. So, let's have some fun. And I'm gonna pull up the 02 right charts. So people who don't like charts, leave now. We'd love to look at some stuff. We still have a little ways into our top of descent, which I haven't calculated just yet. I'm pretty sure Charlie could help us out with that. Let's see. Have a graph. All right, here we go. So this is, wait, we're going, yeah, this is right. Zulu uniform, uniform, uniform. Right now, this is the ground chart. We're going to be landing at 02 right. We'll have to exit a pretty long taxi because all the terminals are over next to 02 left. But that's fine. We can make that happen. Let's take a look at the approach charts. Like they have an ILS for 02 left. There's 02 right down here. RNAV, ILS DME. ILS DME, runway 20 left. Wait, I want 02 right. Here it is. Cat 2, RNAV, ILS DME, runway 02 right. We also have the RNAV, ILS DME right. Oh, we have a bunch of them. We'll just use this one. We use Y. Zoom in. Let me change this to daytime. There we go. All right, check it out. So, information that we usually would need if we were flying this in a full flight simulator or an actual plane is we would need the localizer frequency, which is going to be 108.7, and approach CRS frequency. Approach CRS would be 024. So that's our final runway heading there, 024. And let's take a look. So this is 02 right here. So really what it has us doing is kind of coming in. Yeah, it's basically exactly what we're doing. So we're coming in from over here, the west, at probably coming to this waypoint 12. Heading 111 until we reach D12-8, I mean decimal 8. Make a left turn for our final. And we're going to be looking at 3,940 at D8-6, which is actually right here at the top of the glide slope. Yeah, so we're expecting 3,940 for our that. Elevation. I always forget where to find the elevation on these things. I think it's on the top though. Here it is. Airport elevation 1,681. Runway elevation exactly the same. So, and as far as going around, in case we have to do that, hopefully we don't have to. But going around, we'll make a runway heading and then turn right towards the by Hesse VOR and missed approach climb gradient minimum of 5% up to 2,140 feet. That'll be our go around. We'll be expecting for the go around. Let's hope we don't go around today. We don't want another repeat of that one flight in Australia in the 717. It's all situated. I think the F-22 caught up with him. I don't know that I can see him. He might be too far. Yeah. Monday Blues, how you doing, man? I'm doing good. How are you, bro? Oh yes, somebody asked earlier what that app was. It's called Navigraph. It's a paid app. It's not free. But if you want charts, like I always told you guys in the past, if you want charts for any airport, just basically Google it. Google the ICAO code and put charts after it on Google, and you'll find basically what you need. But I recently, just about 2 weekends ago, I downloaded this Navigraph chart desktop app, which I love. Like, I wish I had this thing a whole lot sooner. It has charts for freaking everywhere. Like, I no longer have to Google charts anymore if I'm not in the United States. And also, it's very updated charts too. It's not as updated as the real life charts. It's like just a little bit behind the real life charts, but it is it's like, you know, it's pretty much the most updated you can find for flight simulation. Whenever you're using SkyVector, not SkyVector, a lot of the charts that we can find on Google, a lot of times those charts are outdated. But I've learned that they're updated when I've tried to use them online. No problem, Tom. You understand, you got life. ZULS-ZUUU update is soon, so anytime between now and the next couple days, for a few days. Azayomi, what's going on, man? Appreciate that, man. Yes, it's been pretty chill today on the stream. But yeah, I would love Navigraph. It's very, very helpful for, like, if you're flying X-plane. The cool thing is that Navigraph actually has a thing called SimLink that you also get downloaded with it, where it will connect to your X-plane or to your FSX or to your P3D, whatever you play. It'll connect to that simulator, and you can actually see, and you'll see this later on when I do more X-plane live streams and videos. You'll see me using this, but you can actually see a little, like, icon that shows where your aircraft is in relation to the charts, in relation to the map. So it's really cool. Actually, I think I created. Show you this too. Show off my new toys. So this is right here. I created the flight. I didn't really put the waypoints. I could have put the waypoints, but I didn't. I just put a direct shot. So this is where we started, right here at Zulu Uniform Lima Sierra, and then we flew out to Zulu Uniform. And we're somewhere in between this. But if I was flying on X-plane right now, my X-plane would be connected, and you would actually see a little, like, navigation icon, like a GPS, showing me where my current position is and direction, and you would see me progressing through this line. It's pretty cool. And I have, like, tons of charts in here that I use. These are places I've been flying in lately, my home airport. So, very cool app. And you definitely can use it with Infinite Flight. I use it with Infinite Flight now, just for charts in general. It's kind of like my replacement for SkyVector, but I still find myself using SkyVector for like VFR charts and stuff, or looking at the terrain. PXOZ Gaming, what's up, man? Good to see you. Jaden Dyer, do I know Swiss001? No, I do not. I think I know him on Instagram. That's about it. And yes, Lebratz is IFATC. He's been IFATC for a long time. I think he's actually the first IFATC member to ever be on my stream. Pretty sure that's a fact. Oh wow, look at that. We have traffic. We have traffic. We're on the ground at airport. Taking off is 02 left. How's the visibility looking now? Earlier we only had 3 miles of visibility. It's still about the same. The weather hasn't changed too much, so we'll probably use approach mode today. I'm also, to be honest, kind of feeling lazy. Don't really feel like, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see when we get closer. I may end up landing it by hand, but we'll see how I'm feeling. Shall see. But speaking of IFATC, I think I've mentioned this here and there before. I've been, for a while, going through the process of becoming an IFATC member. For a while. It's just kind of come down to, I've already done my tests and stuff. It just come down to like availability and me being free. So that's kind of what it is. But I really want to get on there so we can do some stuff, because I refuse. People have been asking me to do like live streams of like being ATC, and I'm like, well, right now I can only be ATC on training server, and that's no fun. Well, I mean, it can be fun. It can be fun. Don't get me wrong. It can be fun, but at the same time, I'm okay. I feel like on training server, you just have no power. Like, people do what they want to do. Like, you basically, as a training server ATC, you just tell people suggestions. Well, I suggest you take 02 left, but you're just gonna do what you want and probably taxi on the runway without clearance. When should we start descents? That's a great question, sir. Find out. Using my handy dandy descent calculator. We are at 35,000 feet. And we need to land soon because the pilot needs to use the lavatory. Oh, it's getting bad. I said, what was it again? The chart said 3,940, so we'll expect 4,000 when we get to this waypoint right there. This is our last waypoint before we get to the... Yeah, it's going to be this waypoint right here. So we'll expect 4,000 when we get there. Right now we're headed to KAMAX. We're not having any approach online, so we don't have to worry about contacting them. It'll just be a tower and ground online today. So our target altitude is going to be 4,000 feet. And on average, we're probably going about 280 knots. And let's expect to descend somewhere around 90 miles out. Not from the airport, not 90 miles from the airport, but 90 miles from that waypoint. So right now, I think we're getting real close to that. 174 miles from the airport. Right now, we're 53 miles from our next waypoint, 54 miles from the next waypoint, and 45 from that. So really, I think when we get to KAMAX, we should start descending there, because that's going to give us about that 100 miles to descend. J-Lo, what's going on? Good to see you. The wrench icon is for my moderators, because they be fixing it up. Alright, so we'll descend. Our top of descent will be our next waypoint of KAMAX, which is in 48 miles. And we'll descend at 2,000 feet per minute down to 4,000. Now, we're going to be slowing down during that also. So let me see. Let me do a little bit more. Let's see. What if we instead descend down to 11,000? Yeah, so actually I take that back. Take that back. Alright, so what we'll do is KAMAX we still will descend, but we will not descend to 4,000. We will descend to 11,000 because we want to be 11,000 by the time we get to MIKOS. At MIKOS, we will descend from 11,000 feet to 4,000 feet at about 230 knots indicated, just to be safe. And we'll descend at a profile about 700 feet per minute. Pretty slow, but I mean, it is what it is. And so that means that instead from KAMAX, we would ascend from 35,000 feet down to 11,000 feet, and that will have us at, we'll actually do that about 300 knots. That'll be, what's that, 54 miles? Yeah, so we'll descend about 3,300 feet per minute for that. Hazard Gasm, we are all landing at runway 02 right. Yes, 02 right is the arriving runway. So the cool thing about this, let's talk about this situation, because right now, only reason I know to land at 02 right is because the controller is on the stream with us right now. So he's talking, he's communicating with us. If it were not for that, I would have been like, well, you just land wherever you want. You know what I mean? But this is where ATIS comes into play, because him being the controller of our arrival airport, he can decide and say on the ATIS, he can set the ATIS to say arrivals, you know, departures, you know, departing runway 02 left, arrivals arriving at 02 right, visual approach or ILS, something like that, because there's low visibility. You know what I mean? So that's where it's very helpful, because I mean, there's so many times when you're flying into an airport and there's ATC there. That's great. There's only tower and ground. There's no approach, and you're like, well, what runway do I land on? Both sides are green, like this right here. And so when that happens, it sucks for ATC. I've been ATC like on the training server when that happens, and you have somebody arriving on the opposite side of the runway, but you want them to land on a different side of the runway, and you tell them to go around because you don't want them landing there, but they end up doing it anyways because they're stupid people. But you get what I'm saying. So in this situation is a perfect time when ATIS comes into play, when he could set, as a controller, he could say, you know, he could set the ATIS to say that we're, you know, landing is on runway 02 right and takeoff is 02 left. So that way all the inbound aircraft already know exactly what runway they need to land on. So anyways, so top of the descent's gonna be KAMAX. We're descending from 35,000 feet down to 1,000 feet at 300 indicated airspeed and 3,300 feet per minute. And then we will slow down our descent when we get there to descend at 700 feet per minute. Continue down to 4,000 feet for our next waypoint. So sounds good to you? Sounds good to me. That may change depending on scenery in that area. One thing I hope that they would bring back is like actual being able to see what the heights of the mountains are in your infinite flight map, and not have to do that through a third-party app like Skyvector or something like that. So speaking of that, I do need to look that up to find out, because we may need to descend at a different rate, because there are mountains before we get there. Yes, sir, there will be some new things coming to Discord. Michael DaCosta, good to see you, man. New updates coming soon, like real soon for real this time. like starting today, people will probably start getting an update, possibly. I would expect the update to come to people starting now up until a few days. And yes, Infinite Flight's YouTube channel has posted a video on how ATIS works. So if you don't know what ATIS is, just watch the video. If you don't know what it is, it's okay, because, you know, a lot of people don't know these things yet, and it's okay. Don't have to be ashamed to not know. And I also want to say this too, just to put this out there for people that are in the community. We're less than 1 minute away from our top of descent, by the way. I'm going to like, you have to remember that Infinite Flight is a very young community. All right, so I know a lot of people, a lot of us have been around flight simulation and aviation for a while, but we can't like expect everyone to know everything, because a lot of people are just like, this is like Infinite Flight for some people is their first taste of like a semi-realistic flight simulator with semi-realistic rules and people who fly semi-realistically, you know what I mean? So we can't expect everyone to know what ATIS is, everybody know what a METAR means. We shouldn't expect everybody to know how to read a METAR, know how to read charts. You know, a lot of these more advanced things that, you know, you'll see in my streams, like, you can't expect everybody to know that, because some people are just getting into flight sim. People are young. Some people are maybe a little bit older, and there's, you know, they're finally sparking the interest, or maybe they couldn't fly on PC, but they finally found this and they're able to do this, you know. So, you know, be helpful to people. I'll just say that. if you ever see somebody in any of the Discord servers or any forum post anywhere, and it seems like a stupid question because, oh yeah, everybody knows that you take off on the green runway or you take off into the wind. Well, no, everybody does not know that. Remember back to when you first got into aviation and you didn't know what side of the runway to take off on. You didn't know how to decide when to descend. You didn't know what speed to take off. You didn't know why to push back. You didn't know what navigation mode was. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't know what direction you should cruise at. You know what I mean? It's a lot of these things that seem simple to us, there's still people who are just barely getting into aviation. This is their first like semi-realistic flight simulator. They have never flown on PC. You know, they didn't fly X-plane. You know, this is their first thing. And so I'll just say to those people that that's good. This is a great place to start. But for everybody else who's been here for a while, I would say be helpful, be supportive. Like, don't be that kind of community who's like, oh, you're so stupid because you don't know these simple things. Well, no, everybody doesn't know that. If you go out to your regular friends who are not aviation literate, I would say, they would have no idea what you're talking about when you bring up a lot of the things that you say. All right, let's go ahead and start descending. It's going to be 3,300 feet per minute here. Bit of a steep descent down to 11,000. I need to check. I really need to check how high those mountains are too, because those mountains could be a problem because they look pretty high, don't they? So be helpful is what I'm trying to say. Be helpful to the new people who are new to aviation, new to a lot of these things. Because the way you treat them now can dictate how they decide to live out or not live out their dreams. Somebody got ghosted already? And yes, please follow all instructions by ATC as we approach into the ATC controlled area, because they will ghost you for not following the rules. Not want to be ghosted. So I'm looking on Skyvector right now to find out what the tops of these mountains look like. I think it's about 12,000. Oh, I was wrong. Holy crap! So we may need to descend later. So it's looking like the peaks of these mountains are going to be around, the highest is about 20,000 feet. We also have some 15,000 feet in there, 24, 13, 17, 19. So we're not going to go as low as I originally planned. We're going to go like 21,000 or 22 to 21. And then we'll change our descent rate for our when we get to the next waypoint. That's what we'll do. Holy crap. Good thing I looked that up. What's going on, Nico Craft? Good to see you, man. Awkward, welcome to the stream. Welcome back. It's Coaster. Welcome back. A380 Velocity. I didn't say hi to you earlier, so what's up? How you doing? Good to see you. British. Good to see you. British 06345. To be honest with you, I really don't know. Let's see. Let me look on Lifeline. If you look, I have the Lifeline link in the description, so you can check that out to see if you want to see our exact location. But I don't really know. Let me see. Yeah, I don't really know what this area is called at all. And I mean, I see the map, but I can't really pronounce any of the names. So you kind of have to look on Lifeline yourself, and you can tell me if we are there, because I don't know. I have an iPhone. I'm flying on an iPhone 10 right now. It runs beautifully. All right. Who is that? Let's see. I wasn't looking at the screen. AE Alpha Echo. Thank you for that subscription. Welcome to the Blue Arrow family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So I need to recalculate my descent now because my original plan was incorrect because of the man. Look at these mountains. This is amazing. So I'm attempting to descend about 21,000. I'm thinking the peaks of these mountains are like, I think that over there is about 20,000 feet over there, to our left at our 10 o'clock. And to our right, those are about 15,000. Now the elevation of the airport we're flying into is right around 1,000 feet. So it's not that high compared to the rest of these mountains. We want to get past the mountains before we descend too low. You feel me? So if we're gonna be at 21,000, my plan is, and we descend from there to 4,000 feet. We're gonna have about 45 miles to do so. Yeah, we'll do that about 2,000 feet per minute, so it looks good. What a beautiful approach, though. Ascending over the mountains. I don't know what this mountain range is called. I don't know if there's a name for this area. I'm pretty sure there is. I don't know what it is. I just know we're in China. This is where all those Chinese karate movies were made, on one of these mountains. AGL. Yeah, let's take a look at AGL. AGL, we are 9,000 up. 9,000 feet. AGL. Thank you, Sparky Doodles, for that follow. Welcome to the Blue Arrow Royal family on Twitch. Appreciate that, bro. Alright, so yeah, if we look at our AGL, it's freaking crazy. We're at 9,000 feet above these mountains right now, which is that's a pretty good clearance. If I go, let's look at both. Let's go ahead and monitor AGL, and I'm gonna put the winds away here. Switch to, I want to see both side by side. So right there. So we're at 21,000 feet now. We've leveled off. My speed will be at 300. Actually, we're already at 300. Alright, making our left turn. And to our right, which is where our next waypoint is, we can go ahead and descend down to 4,000 feet now. We don't want to get our speed way, way down. You know. So I'm actually going to go 11,000 first. Just to be safe. And we would ascend about 2,100 to 2,200 feet per minute. Set my speeds at 250, but we're definitely going to be way above that. I'm going to put my spoilers on. And say goodbye to the mountains. Sadif, how you doing, bro? British, no, there actually is no CRJ update tomorrow. There's an update, yes, but no, not CRJ will not be included in that update. Sorry if I had to be the one to tell you, but there is no, no longer CRJ is going to be included. CRJ will no longer be included in this update. I had to check the forums. We kind of went through it earlier on the stream, but check the forums for explanation on why that is. Thank you, Falsman FTW, for that follow. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys who were supporting on the Twitch channel. You are not forgotten. You have not been forgotten. Coming up pretty close on yeah, we're at 11,000 feet at AGL now. 17,000. Down there quick enough. Yeah, we need to speed up a bit. Not speed up, but we need to descend a bit faster. About 30 miles from our next waypoint. Our next waypoint being, I think, a GPS coordinate is what it is. The one thing we won't forget is I'm going to turn lane lights on now because I always forget once we get to 11,000, 10,000 feet. I kind of wish they'd be a little bit more forgiving on the 250 knot rule too. Like, I don't know if they have, I don't know how much, like, you give or take 250 you can do. But I never set my altitude to at 250 knots because it's always a problem. Alright, spoilers are out. We need a little bit of drag to get us down there in time. Please, again, guys, there is no approach controller, so make sure you have plenty of separation between you and the aircraft ahead of you, or you will be told to go around. Thank you, PJ Luby, for that follow. Welcome to the Blue Arrow Royal family. Hit that. All right, coming up on 11,000 now. We're gonna drop our speed down just a little bit more. Go 230 knots. I would like to just go ahead and smoothly go by 10,000 feet here. Getting close to, we're 2,000 feet above 10,000. Our speed is under control at the moment. We're at 244 knots. So at this rate, we can continue below 10,000 feet without any violations. With the spoilers on, I'm gonna continue to descend about 2,500 feet per minute. That works for me. We're at 238 knots, and I'm gonna go ahead and change our altitude down to 4,000. I'm just gonna monitor that speed and that altitude, because we do not want to get a violation again for speeding on 250 down there. Not our airport, it's something else. We should be close enough to contact him, but we're not close enough just yet. So speed at 230 knots, which is good. I'm gonna keep bringing that down. We are getting pretty close to the airport. 20 is good with me, and we're about to pass 10,000 feet. Landing lights are already on. Strobe lights are on. Seatbelt signs are on. All right, guys. So we'll not be looking at the chat probably until we get on the ground. So just warning you. All right, there's 9,000 feet. Still waiting to see if we can contact him. We're still a bit too far out. Speed's doing very well. I'm actually very surprised at how well our speed is handling itself. Usually I have a bit more of an issue. 15 miles out now. We're only 4,000 feet above. So I'm going to bring our vertical speed back a little bit. They're a little early, which I'm okay with. I'd rather get there early than get there late. Somebody, like I said, I'm not looking at the chat, but before I looked away, I saw somebody comment about landing the 777 too fast, or they have been landing 777 like too fast. But what I would say is that try to take care of your speed first and then take care of altitude. I know I've done this plenty of times wrong on stream, but you want to get your speed under control before you get your altitude under control. And you may have to go around. That's just the way it is. Can I set my ILS already? Can. Alright, there's 6,000. 10 miles out, so I'm gonna bring our vertical speed back even more. 1,000 feet per minute, we should be good there. And if you guys are ever wondering like where IFATC is gonna be on expert server, all you need to do is go to the forums, and each week they post where they're going to be each day. So today they're going to be in China, which makes it, that's why Lebras is able to control for us in today's stream. So shout out to him again for doing that. I think that most of the traffic, though, is actually not here. There's another city somewhere, probably Shanghai or something cliche. Something, yep, exactly. Something usual, something normal. Hong Kong, of course, always the usual airports. I saw in the post too that they're trying to get people on IFATC to open up less normal airports, like stuff that's less popular, rather than just the big famous airports. But they're still doing it every time. So, but today we're not flying into any of the highly populated airports that are already being controlled under IFATC. Alright, there's 5,000. I'm not sure where IFATC is going to be tomorrow. I also don't know where they're going to be for Friday night flight. We are expecting to do Friday night flight this week, unless anything changes for some reason. But expecting to do it. It looks like tomorrow, Thursday, they're going to be in South America. So for you guys who are in or around South America or would like to fly to South America, South America should have ATC tomorrow on expert server. Now we're looking good. We're coming up on 4,000 MSL. You can see there's only about 1,000 foot difference now between AGL and MSL. Not in the mountains too much anymore, but the elevation is still about 1,000 feet or so. So I'm actually going to, when we get to this waypoint here, I'm going to turn off nav mode, and we're just going to vector ourselves to the runway for 02 right. There it is, Shang, whatever, Shulu Tower, call inbound, landing on a runway, request right here,
Tower,
and we will vector ourselves to the runway, slight left turn to the east, and we're going to maintain 4,000 feet until establishing runway 02 right.
Schwangliu Tower, Lot 3.
Alright, enter left base, 02 right, number 3, traffic to follow is on final. Roger, roger.
Enter left base, runway 02 right, number 3, traffic to follow is on final. Enter left base, runway 02 right, behind the traffic on final, Blue 116. Lot 3, enter left base, runway 02 right, number 4, traffic to follow is on left base. Enter left base.
Well, I'll do that. I'm also going to pull up our
right, behind the traffic on left base,
charts,
Lot 3. Schwangliu Tower, Blue 117 is 26 nautical miles to the west at 7,000 feet, inbound for landing, requesting runway 02 right. Schwangliu Tower, Emirates
so right now we're on our
07
left
Super
base,
is 22 nautical miles to the southwest at 7,100 feet,
right.
inbound for landing, requesting runway 02 right. Blue 117, enter left base, runway 02 right, number 5.
Yeah, so he's
traffic to follow is on left base.
Land. All right.
Enter left base, runway 02 right.
Weather is 220. Whoa, what is that? What is NPS?
Emirates 007 Super, means. Enter left base, runway 02 left, number 2. Traffic to follow is on final. That isn't doing for me. I do not know what that means. Base,
if you know what that means in the chat, please
left,
leave it in there.
Behind
all right, we'll start making our left turn, I guess. Here.
007 Super. Blue 116,
and our final heading will be
runway 02 right, cleared to land. Number 3, cleared to land, runway 02 right, Blue 116. Wilco, Air China 213. Emirates 007 Super, number 2, runway 02 left, cleared to land.
Separation ahead of us looks pretty good. Aircraft ahead of us looks like he's going around, or he's still trying to lose altitude. We have one aircraft on the final. We have a fighter who may or may not be coming in with him. That's Starly. Somebody else. Yeah, somebody else. We actually need to turn a little less. Accept it. I don't want to fly parallel to it. So far I have no. Okay, there it is. I see the airport.
Runway 02 right, cleared to land. Number 3. Cleared to land, runway
so we're to the left right now, the localizer. So we're going to go ahead and use the approach mode today.
Number
I have
3,
decided.
Traffic to follow is on left base. Number 3, behind the traffic on left base, Singapore 3502.
Lower our speed down, 190 knots, and flaps 1. We'll go ahead and establish a localizer from 4,000 feet. Slope is not yet.
India Foxtrot Bravo 033, when able turn left, contact ground on the taxiway.
There it is, localizer right there.
Wilco, India Foxtrot Bravo 033.
So the thing about infinite flight is you kind of, until the glide slope is under control,
Blue 117,
you gotta make sure you're on the localizer by yourself.
Runway 02 right, cleared to land. Number 3, cleared to land, runway 02 right,
is going to go to
Blue
armed.
117.
7.5 here. Ready to hit approach mode, and 3, 2, 1, there it is. Flaps 2. You're done.
Emirates 007 Super, number 1, runway 02 left, cleared to land. Number 1, cleared to land, runway 02 left, Emirates 007 Super.
You're down 3 green.
Marine 661, when able turn right,
Final
contact
02
ground
right.
on the taxiway.
Lower down 150
Wilco,
now.
Marine 661. Emirates 007 Super.
One
Please
thing
follow
I learned from
instructions.
this like a Airbus pilot. He did a video one time, and I was like, man, that's really helpful. He said that for Airbus, and it can kind of work for like Boeing planes too, the same
Singapore
size, but for like Airbus, like the A319 stuff like that, you can
maintains
pretty
lowest
much get away as far as
practical
airspeed.
speed.
When you're
Maintains
5 miles
lowest
out, you can be at like
practical speed.
150 knots. When you're 8 miles out, 180 knots. 9 miles, 190 knots. 4 miles, 140 knots. And you probably land about 140 knots. So I've been kind of doing that for my landings in the Airbus. Whenever I'm at about 5 miles out, I'll put my speed to about 150 knots. If I'm 6 miles out, 160, and so forth. Let me go flaps full. It seems to work.
3502, number 1, runway 02 left, cleared to land.
I am not using
Number
infinite
1,
passenger
cleared to
today. It has
land.
not been working
Runway
for me lately.
02 left, Singapore
I've tried using infinite passenger for like my last 3 to 4 flights, and it hasn't been connecting.
Disregard last message.
And before then, I had no issues. And it's not like it updated, so I'm not sure what changed.
Runway 02 left, cleared to land. Number
But
2,
I do like infinite
cleared to
passenger. If you
land.
like to join my
Runway
airline, my
02
link,
left,
or no, just send me
Singapore
a invite. No, I have to.
3502.
I can't fly, but you guys can fly for me. Not much wind. Alright, so we're expecting to exit Echo 5, 6, or 7. Cover our screen here. Yeah, Captain Joe said that. You're right, Philo. That's where I got that from. Captain Joe is a great channel to watch, guys. Definitely recommend it if you love aviation. Holy crap, look how close we're getting to this mountain. Woohoo! Wow, that's cool. Loading? Are you serious right now? That was a complete auto land. I didn't control that at all. I want to see what it was gonna do, and that was a complete. It floated. I'm surprised it floated. Auto land freaking floated. That's funny. I will take this first one.
Blue 116, when able, turn left and contact ground.
All right,
Please
get off the brakes.
expedite. Wilco, Blue 116.
I wasn't expecting the auto land to float. I mean, usually if maybe I was controlling the plane, I would floating is expected. floaters are expected, but I didn't think that auto land would make us float like that. Not a very good auto landing there.
Schwaglier Tower,
little to no
Air
wind
China
either, so.
832 is 25 nautical miles.
Usually
to the west
auto
at
land doesn't float for
10,000
me.
feet, inbound for landing.
Nice, spoilers off, flaps up, lights off, strobe lights off, and contact ground.
Air China 832, enter left base runway 02 right.
Ground
Number
request
3,
taxi parking.
traffic to follow is on final.
Looks like we are
Schwaglier
on.
ground, Blue
Freaking
116,
trying to look at this.
request taxi to
Trying to look at
parking.
the chart
Blue
and
116,
taxi at the same time.
taxi
It's
to
a lot of times
parking. Taxi
pretty hard.
to
We'll
parking.
follow this other
Blue
aircraft to the gate here.
116.
I think we're on Delta. Yeah, we're on Delta taxiway right now. All right, well, welcome to another city in China. I'm sorry if you live here, but I do not know how to pronounce this place, so I apologize. But welcome to this city. Oh, somebody's landing on 02 left, so they are doing some arrivals. They are. Alright, so we'll be taking taxiway Delta to probably November to Charlie to the gate, Charlie to parking. Yeah, I'm looking at another screen. That's why you keep seeing me not on the yellow line. So right now he's on Mike, I believe, taxiway. I'm actually gonna take November, which is the second one that goes that direction. But yeah, man, I gotta say, man, I love Captain Joe. Like, I think he's probably one of my favorite like aviation channels. It's so like I've learned so much from that dude. Like, I haven't watched any of his videos lately. I'm not sure if he's not been posting them or what, but I haven't really seen any videos lately. Maybe it just hasn't popped up. I don't think I have a notification turned on for him. I don't have notifications turned on for anybody because I don't want things popping up on my screen. I already have enough stuff popping up on my screen. But yeah, I learned a lot about Airbus from him. But a lot of things you learn from him also can apply to other types of aircraft. This is very interesting. I love it when real life pilots, you know, start to make videos like that and kind of teach the community. And you know, I think that everybody just becomes better pilots in the end from sharing those types of things. He goes into detail on a lot of the small features that you just kind of overlook in aviation and airplanes. So it's pretty cool.
Taxiing to parking, Emirates 007 Super.
Okay, Aviation Worldwide. You say he's transferring to another airline. Good luck for him. Every time I look away from the screen, this thing just like moves over. You know what I could do? I think I've tested this in the past. If you line up on the yellow line, like right here, and you hit heading mode, I think it should stay. Let's see. Looks like it's, I don't know, I can't tell. For the most part, it's staying straighter than what I was doing. I'm gonna try to like change the heading and see if it changes.
Schwangliu ground, Singapore 3502.
Oh snap! It does. That's okay. That's too much. That's too much. But cool.
Taxi to parking.
In real life, you can't do this in real life, but in infinite flight, it's a little cheat you can do. If you ever get tired, if you have like a long taxi and you are not looking at your screen, you want to just taxi straight, hit heading mode. Give it a try. Alright, so we're gonna follow this guy in. We'll just park wherever the heck he parks.
Taxiing to parking.
Yeah, we'll park her. We'll park it.
Taxiing to parking, Singapore 3502.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the flight. It was actually I did. I enjoyed the flight. It was the scenery was really nice. I've never flown this route. Never flown to either of these cities, so I really appreciate the suggestion for that flight today. The A330 over there. And big shout out to you guys who flew with us today. Thank you guys also who have been sticking around for the entire stream. I think our final flight time ended up being 1 hour and 37 minutes. Which is right around what we were expecting. We were expecting about an hour and a half-ish. So we got here right on time. And then, yeah, thank you guys for hanging out, talking about the new update and the news about that. Again, there will not be a CRJ coming with the next update, sadly. A lot of people are heartbroken, including me, and disappointed. But they got to do what they got to do. You know, I'm not mad at them. I still think they have a great team over there. I kind of wish that they had a bigger team because I think that they would be able to do more, but I'm pretty sure they're limited on their supplies and things like that. So still looking forward to the CRJ whenever that comes out. I'm also looking forward to all these mysterious things that they mentioned about new systems and new aircraft and new quality, a new higher quality of aircraft. Like if they're releasing a smaller plane that's more complex than the MD-11 that they have most recently released as an aircraft, I'm very curious at what those features are. So we'll see what it is. Only time will tell. I'm not planning on going anywhere anytime soon. So I'm actually going to park right here. I don't know why he didn't take that spot, but I'm going to take the spot. Fighters taking the screenshots. Right in the line. In heading mode. Oh, that's a cool plane. A lot. Polish Airlines is pretty cool. I've actually never flown that. And brakes. Alright guys, welcome to this airport. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I really don't know how to say the name. And I just don't. But thank you guys so much for flying with us. It was a lot of fun. As usual, our next Infinite Flight stream will be on Friday for Friday Night Flight. return to Infinite Flight. Tomorrow, I'll be back on the racetrack. So if you're into racing or cars, or just want to support the channel, definitely come by. I have a fun, long race and definitely challenging race that I'm going to do tomorrow. So I have to practice on that for later today to get ready for tomorrow. But this will be the end of today's flight. This will be the only flight of today's stream. Thank you again for coming out, supporting Blue Games. Appreciate all the new followers, all the new subscribers, and also shout out to everybody who's been here from like the beginning. You know what I mean? People who've been here, who've been supporting like hardcore. Really shout out to you guys. Appreciate you guys so much for supporting the channel. Let's go ahead and tell the brats that we said thank you. You know he can hear my voice right now. Thank you anyways, my friend. And I'm going to log off here. Alright, so if you guys have any last questions to ask, I'll stick around for like a few more minutes just to answer any things you guys have asked. Since I was on my descent, I wasn't paying attention to the chat, so you have like 2 minutes and counting before we get out of here. Jordan, we don't know about what we're flying on Friday yet. Alex Pete, 10 more landings until expert. You can make that happen today. Just do a bunch of touch and goes, bro, and you're good. Friday, I usually stream around, well, because time changed in America, it's going to be around 1300 Zulu now. Fighters do what they want, it's true. Thank you, Randy, for that subscription. Welcome to the Blue Arrow Royal family. Yes, sir, J-Lo, the JetBlue A321 is coming in the next update. So, for you JetBlue fans, yeah. Also, I think there's like 2 more Frontier liveries coming out. Randy, the update is not, well, it's not quite out yet. It's coming. It's on the way. It's done. It's on the way. They've already finished the build that they're doing. And now they're just waiting for the mobile. Oh God! And there's the trolls, and that's my cue. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for joining. Peace, love. Hey, God bless. Remember, you got 3 choices: give up, give in, and give it all you got. Peace, love, and God bless you. I'll catch you guys next time, next stream. Peace.